Money loves structure. It flees from mess. Money loves clarity. It follows systems. It follows tracking. It follows organization. It follows everything that has a place and purpose, but it flees from mess, from disorganization, from, impulse buying, impulse spending, all this thing that's so disorganized, like dirty, messy. You don't have anything in alignment. Same thing with your life. Money follows that trend. So some of you don't have money or are broke or horrible with money because you have no clarity in your life. You have no organization in your life. You have no tracking, no metrics, no discipline, no consistency with anything that you're doing in your spending, in your saving, in your income, managing your income and managing your outcome, your expenses. And you wonder why you're unhappy. Really examine your life. Really examine your habits. And I'm not perfect at this either. But look around. When you can notice, how are you at work? How are you in your home? How are you in your car? If everything's messy, and I don't always just mean messy like dirty or gross, it could just be disorganized. You could just be so sporadic. You can be impulse with everything. Impulse in your relationship, impulse at work. You can be a great worker, get all your work done, but are you organized, or is everything you just get it done when you get it done? Same thing with your house. Your house might not be dirty. There might not be mice and rats and roaches, but is it organized? Do you have any kind of routine with how you clean your house? Do you have any routine in how you do things? Like I said, you need structure, you need a plan, you need a strategy in all phases of life, in all aspects of life. And money's no different. When you plan accordingly, you can plan how your money is going to be used. Whether it's the income coming in, how do you grow that income? How do you double that income? How do you create multiple sources of income? How do you spend your money? What percentage is being spent on necessities? You're paying your bills, paying your car, that type of stuff, food, groceries, rent, etc. And then how much is this wasteful spending that we forget about? The streaming services that we forget to delete, the gym membership we just let go and we never go, or we have multiple gym memberships and we don't even go to the gyms that we have, or we're spending on things we don't need to be spending on. We're overspending on DoorDash. I'm guilty of that, so I'm not talking about anybody. We're overspending on and wasting so much things that we don't even utilize half of it. And then the other half that we do use, we're just wasting time. We're procrastinating. We're being lazy. We're living in comfort. And then we'll complain about the life that we hate, but we're doing nothing to get out of that. We're spending our time on these habits that are only costing us more. All that to say, skipping over. How are we saving? How are we managing the money? How are we paying off debts? How are we doing this? Is there a plan? Is there a strategy? Is there organization on this is my income, this is my, I guess budget is the word. How many of us have budgets or use budgets? I'm guilty of that too. So I'm speaking to myself on this. But money loves structure, and it's going to be attracted to structure. It's going to be organized, and it's going to be able to have you bring more money and figure out how to game plan to get more income, whether it's maximizing the income you have or creating multiple sources of income. So keep this in mind if you're a person that's wanting to build wealth, wanting to make more money, wanting to become rich, wanting to pay off some debt, wanting to get away from paycheck to paycheck. How do you become more structured, more organized, and manage the money you have now, but also grow it, steward, get more? So follow some form of process. I'm not a financial guru. I'm not a financial mentor, so I can't necessarily help you directly. If you need help and you want to message me, you can. But just giving this thought for those of the people that can't seem to understand what's going on. You're unorganized. You're a mess. You're a mess in your life. You're a mess in your finances. You're a mess probably in your health and your relationships. And like I said, I'm not talking bad about anybody, but you have to examine your life. The examine life is one of the most powerful things, and look inward and face the truth. I haven't been doing as much as I can physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, relationally. I've been slacking. I've been just getting by. How do I get locked in and manage things appropriately and get structure in every aspect? But financially, that was the topic of today for money. So this was Consistency Day 478. I hope you got something from this message. Hoping it at least provoked some kind of thought or challenged you in any ways. And if it did or inspired you somehow, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. And other than that, I wish you all peace and blessings on the journey.